Now,
the radio
who do
stations.
you normally work with local promoters when you get
Well,
a
we
venue?
do have, we've done local promoters. We have some promoters that are, a little bit more, widespread, who can help us out to a certain extent, or at
Yes.
least put us in connection with somebody
Yes.
that's more local, because we
Mhm.
do want to have that local, somebody who knows the area,
Yes.
knows the,
Demographics.
Thank you.
Yes.
Yeah. You need to have that.
Yes.
You need to have that, because you can't go into an area, and then find out after you've, put all the money into the show that it's not a doo-wop area.
Yes.
So,
What is
yeah.
a doo-wop area, if you will?
Well, it's
Actually, moreover, why don't you tell the listeners what is doo-wop?
doo-wop.
Give us a little historical perspective on
I
doo-wop.
mean,
Where did it come from? What were its roots? I mean, in our generation, you and I being about the same age,
Right.
that we know doo-wop very well.
Yeah.
That it was
doo-wop is
a
the
direct
music from the-
relationship to Elvis and to a lot of the music that we listened to, and also then the birth of rock and roll and
Right.
how it works into that.
Yeah. Doo-wop was an era.
Uh-huh.
In
And
the 50s.
era, would you define it as
And
the
even
50s?
kind of fell into the early 60s.
Sure.
You'll even hear some of that in the Beatles music,
Yes.
in their early Beatles music. But it's just a feel. It's
Mhm.
a feel. I don't think doo-wop itself has a term. I think it's just a feel, like, of the type of music.
Yeah, where
that
did the
was
word
being done.
doo-wop come from?
I
Doo-wop.
couldn't tell you. I think it's something because of,
Maybe how the music sounds?
or the background singers,
Yeah,
you
yeah.
heard a lot of that doo-wop,
Right,
in a
right,
lot of
right,
the songs.
that's true,
So,
that's true.
So who actually came up
Coined
with
the
that?
term, yeah.
I have no idea. But,
Uh-huh.
our feeling for the music is, or where it started from, was probably on the street corners,
Uh-huh.
of Philadelphia and Detroit and New York and, Brooklyn. I've got, how many groups came from Brooklyn and the Bronx
Right.
that I know I work with
Yes.
all the time.
Uh-huh.
And, just a cappella groups, and then, the music worked into it.
Mhm, mhm.
And it just grew like anything else.
Yes.
We have rap today. Where did that start? Same thing.
From the streets.
In the streets.
Uh-huh.
And I think that's what it is. Somebody just hears a sound and it catches on. And I think that's where it just caught on.
Right, so you mentioned about researching the areas you're going to do the shows and see if a place is a doo-wop area or
Right,
not.
right.
So
Well,
what's a doo-wop area?
You want to, because of course.
I mean, you're going to have people who
if you're going to
lived
go to
in
the
era.
Midwest, you're probably going to have more country music, things like that. So, you're looking for an
Yeah,
area.
isn't it funny, parts of the Midwest, you figure like country music
Yeah.
is like, Tennessee,
Yeah.
Kentucky, and places like that, but then,
we get emails
Ohio,
and calls all the
Michigan.
time. When are you coming
Yes.
to? When are you coming to Cleveland? When are you
Yes.
coming to Texas? When are you coming to California? Things like that. But mostly we look for areas who have a large broadcasting in that kind of music.
Interesting, so like
because
an
if there's
oldie
no
station that.
right, exactly. If there's no broadcasting, then you're pretty much being told there's no call for it.
Right, but when we were growing up, again, the oldie stations were the ones that played 50s
Right.
type of music.
Right.
And then, now the oldie stations seem like they're playing like classic rock.
Yes.
It's sort of
Yeah.
like the genre
Again,
of
because-
what is an oldie?
Right. Well, yeah.
It's all relative to
right.
who you are.
Right. Exactly,
Yes.
and what you're looking for.
Right.
But and again, that's the whole thing too about doing these shows, to keep the music alive.
Yeah.
Because people are getting older
Sure.
who are from that generation.
I mean, if you look at the iPods of the kids,
Yeah.
my kids, I actually, the way I get my music is they just load up an iPod for me, and that's sort of, I used to suggest groups for my son to download
Right.
when he was growing up. And I would always find it interesting that the exact songs that I liked were the ones that he ended up liking. I wouldn't give him specific songs, I would just say, download this,
Right.
download that, download that.
Right.
And the collection of music would be almost what I would have chosen, which is interesting. But I don't recall any specific doo-wop kind of music that he would kind of work his way down into. He would work his way from like down up to like
Okay.
classic rock and then up.
Right.
So,
yeah.
So a doo-wop
this
area.
sound is very specific.
Yeah.
You know,
yeah.
it's you know, but again, you know, keeping it alive, moving it on to the next generation, so it's not lost.
Like I would think like Vegas would be maybe a good venue for this.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
yeah, and we're looking to venture out in you know, on the
Have
on
you
the West
played in
Coast.
Vegas?
Have not yet.
Uh-huh.
Again, we're pretty much sticking to the East Coast.
Right.
You know, we're a fairly new company,
Uh-huh.
so you know, we're still getting our feet wet.
Right.
Also.
So how long have you been doing this?
About
for?
a year. Yeah.
About a
So
year,
you know,
okay.
March were our first shows.
Uh-huh.
So.
Oh, so this is relatively new.
Very, very.
So
new.
what was going on before this?
Real jobs.
Okay.
You know.
So was this
you
sort
know,
of like a dream to
It
start
was. It
doing
was my
this?
husband's dream.
So
Yeah.
what did he do before?
Well,
he,
you know, he's
I mean, I
always-
guess all along he's been playing.
He's always
music.
been a musician.
Yes.
He's played with a lot of, you know, local bands here.
Uh-huh.
He started doing doo-wop shows about 25 years ago.
Yes.
He was introduced to Kathy Jean from Kathy Jean and the Roommates, and then.
I love the names Kathy Jean and the Roommates.
Yeah, yeah, and you know, once he started playing with her, she wouldn't go out without him, you know, and so, you know, that was kind of nice, and he did that for a lot of years.
Uh-huh.
And
What was his day job?
he was sales for a local, you know, construction company.
Uh-huh, uh-huh.
So, but music has always been his dream. He plays the
Yes.
saxophone, he plays the piano, and
Sings?
he does. He's not, you know, that's not
Background.
his. No, he'll sing on his, you know, on his own,
Uh-huh.
and you know, and he has done that. So, but that's not his, you know, thing. His saxophone is really
Right.
the main part of his repertoire.